Venezuela is entering a post-regime change period following Nicolás Maduro's removal in January 2026. The transition marks a significant shift in the nation's political landscape. Delcy Rodriguez has taken over as acting president. Rodriguez's leadership ensures the continuation of the Chavista regime. This continuity suggests a preservation of existing political ideologies and structures. The change in leadership aims to steer Venezuela through a critical phase. The immediate aftermath is characterized by both public celebration and continued repression. Public jubilation reflects the initial excitement and hope for change. However, ongoing repression indicates that challenges and resistance persist. The U.S. aims to supervise a safe transition, which raises questions about national sovereignty. This report evaluates Venezuela's future across multiple dimensions. The assessment covers short-term, medium-term, and long-term prospects. Political factors influencing Venezuela are a key area of analysis. Economic conditions and potential future trends are also examined. Social dynamics and their impact on the country are considered. Security concerns and international relations are included in the report's scope. This analysis identifies key risks and opportunities. A primary risk involves the potential for regime continuity. Another risk is the possibility of insurgency. A significant opportunity lies in the revival of the oil sector. Another opportunity is the potential return of the diaspora. These factors are critical for strategic planning and decision-making. The current government, led by Delcy Rodriguez, is focused on maintaining stability. Power consolidation is a primary objective of the regime. Due to this consolidation effort, elections are improbable in the near future. Elections are not anticipated to occur before mid-2026. The regime's focus remains on solidifying its position before considering electoral processes. U.S. oversight in the short-term political landscape is a key factor. This oversight could lead to the imposition of certain conditions. However, imposing conditions carries the risk of being perceived as neocolonialism. Such perceptions could negatively impact international relations and local acceptance. The medium-term political outlook suggests a transactional transition. This transition may involve limited democratic openings. These openings could be influenced by pressure from the U.S. The term transactional implies a pragmatic, deal-oriented approach to political change. Democratic reforms may be contingent on specific agreements or concessions. The extent and nature of these democratic openings remain uncertain. The persistence of criminal networks poses a significant threat to political stability. Without dismantling these networks, a regime risks evolving into a more entrenched form of authoritarianism. This evolution could result in a more convenient dictatorship. Such a regime would likely prioritize its own interests over the rule of law. Addressing criminal networks is crucial to prevent this negative political trajectory. The long-term political outlook hinges on the interplay between U.S. investment and internal reforms. Full democratization is a plausible outcome under specific conditions. These conditions involve strong U.S. investment ties. These conditions also involve internal reforms within the country. Failure to meet these conditions could lead to a different political structure. Specifically, the alternative to democratization is the potential emergence of a hybrid authoritarian state. Monitoring long-term political trends requires attention to specific indicators. UN Security Council resolutions provide insights into international political dynamics. These resolutions reflect the consensus or divisions among major global powers. The degree of unity within political opposition groups is another key indicator. Opposition unity can signal potential shifts in domestic political power. Venezuela's stock market experienced a surge following a significant political change. This surge indicates a wave of investor optimism regarding the nation's economic future. Despite market optimism, daily operational challenges persist within the country. These challenges disrupt the smooth functioning of economic activities. The economic outlook presents a mixed scenario of investor confidence and practical difficulties. Short-term economic outlook is influenced by fluctuations in oil production. Initial forecasts suggest a potential dip in oil production levels. This dip is contingent on current geopolitical and economic factors. However, U.S. sanction relief could stabilize oil production. Sanction relief may lead to increased oil supply, offsetting the initial decline. U.S. President Trump has advocated for significant investment in infrastructure projects. He specifically urged oil firms to allocate over $100 billion to these projects. Such a large-scale investment could stimulate economic activity. Increased infrastructure spending may lead to a boost in overall output. This initiative has the potential to positively impact the medium-term economic outlook. The medium-term economic outlook hinges on investment inflows. Increased investment is crucial for stimulating GDP growth. GDP growth could potentially reach 8 to 10% with sufficient investment. Reaching this growth rate depends on reversing hyperinflationary trends. Hyperinflation poses a significant threat to economic stability and growth. Therefore, managing inflation is a prerequisite for achieving the projected GDP growth. The revival of PDVSA has the potential to unlock rare earth minerals. This revival could also unlock gold resources. Unlocking these resources can foster economic diversification. Economic diversification can lead to long-term economic growth. Long-term economic forecasts must consider potential shifts in global financial power. De-dollarization trends could challenge the US dollar's dominance in international markets. The persistence of corruption remains a significant risk factor affecting economic stability. These factors introduce complexity and uncertainty into long-term economic predictions. The short-term social and humanitarian outlook is characterized by mixed emotions. Celebrations and moments of joy are juxtaposed with pervasive fear and anxiety. These contrasting emotions reflect the complex realities on the ground. Migration outflows, which have been a significant concern, may experience a temporary pause. This pause could be due to various factors influencing population movement. A social and humanitarian outlook considers potential shifts in refugee populations. The short-term outlook focuses on the possibility of refugee repatriation. Approximately 7.7 million refugees currently residing abroad are considered. The return of these refugees is contingent on the establishment and maintenance of stability. If stability is sustained, these refugees may begin to return to their home countries. This potential return represents a significant shift in the global refugee landscape. The medium-term social and humanitarian outlook involves complex factors. Increased humanitarian aid has the potential to alleviate critical shortages. However, potential increases in repression could intensify trauma within affected populations. The interplay between aid and repression will significantly shape future social conditions. Diaspora remittances are funds sent by migrants to their home countries. In the medium term, these remittances may shift from basic support to investments. This shift reflects a potential increase in financial stability in the recipients' lives. Recipients may begin allocating funds towards business ventures or property. This transition could stimulate economic growth in the recipients' home countries. Social cohesion is generally expected to improve alongside economic gains. However, underlying ethnic and ideological divisions may persist or worsen. These divisions could undermine the positive effects of economic progress. Long-term social stability is contingent on addressing these potential fractures. Failure to reconcile these divides could lead to social unrest or instability. The short-term security outlook is influenced by recent U.S. actions. U.S. strikes were conducted with precision to minimize casualties. This surgical approach aims to limit unintended consequences. A notable trend is the observed decline in drug trafficking activities. This reduction may be attributed to enhanced security measures. These factors collectively shape the immediate security and geopolitical landscape. The medium-term security outlook indicates potential insurgency risks. These insurgencies may originate from loyalist factions or criminal gangs. Such instability could necessitate external intervention. The U.S. may consider deploying advisors to mitigate the security threats. This deployment aims to stabilize the region and counter insurgent activities. The removal action faces protest from China and Russia. Latin America largely expresses support for the removal. This divergence highlights differing geopolitical interests. The medium-term security outlook reflects these alignments. These factors shape the geopolitical landscape. A stabilized Venezuela has significant geopolitical implications. It weakens the Iran, Cuba, Nicaragua axis. This weakening enhances overall hemispheric security. The change contributes to a more stable regional environment. The U.S. Monroe Doctrine could serve as a template for similar interventionist policies globally. This doctrine, historically, has justified U.S. intervention in the Western Hemisphere. Other nations might adopt comparable doctrines to legitimize actions within their perceived spheres of influence. Such doctrines can potentially increase geopolitical tensions and regional conflicts. The long-term security outlook may be shaped by the adoption and application of these interventionist strategies. The most probable scenario involves a U.S.-backed continuity. This continuity is expected to be accompanied by gradual reforms. The U.S. support aims to maintain stability during the transition. Gradual reforms are intended to address existing issues. This approach seeks a balance between stability and progress. A potential scenario involves a democratic rebirth. This rebirth is characterized by opposition-led elections. These elections are projected to occur by the year 2027. Opposition leadership could significantly alter the political landscape. This scenario depicts a state failing due to an ongoing insurgency. The insurgency causes the government to lose control over its territory. State institutions collapse, leading to a power vacuum. The result is chaotic fragmentation and widespread instability. The U.S. sometimes prioritizes resource extraction, such as oil, in its foreign policy decisions. This prioritization can lead to the delay or downplaying of democratic initiatives in certain regions. The focus on resource control is often driven by economic and strategic interests. This approach can create tension between U.S. interests and the promotion of democracy abroad. Regional mediation involves conflict resolution led by actors within a specific geographic area. In Latin America, mediation processes are often initiated and managed by regional bodies or nations. These Latin American-led processes can effectively prevent overreach from external powers, such as the U.S. This approach ensures solutions are tailored to regional dynamics and priorities. It is recommended to closely monitor the loyalty and conduct of military forces. Promoting multilateral oversight can help ensure balanced and fair governance. Linking aid to specific human rights benchmarks encourages improved adherence to international standards. These measures collectively aim to foster stability and responsible governance. SWOT analysis evaluates strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths represent internal capabilities that provide a competitive advantage. One key strength is possessing the world's largest oil reserves. This provides a significant resource base for economic development. Another strength is a skilled diaspora population ready to return. These individuals can contribute expertise and investment to the nation. SWOT analysis identifies internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as external opportunities and threats. One identified strength is the removal of Maduro, which reduces narco-trafficking. Removing Maduro disrupts a central hub for the illegal drug trade. Regional democratic neighbors support stability, which is another strength. Support from democratic neighbors enhances regional stability efforts. SWOT analysis identifies internal weaknesses that hinder an organization's goals. One identified weakness is dilapidated infrastructure. Another weakness is the presence of persistent Chavista networks. These networks may exert undue influence or create instability. Repression is also identified as a weakness, potentially stifling growth. SWOT analysis identifies internal weaknesses that hinder an organization's goals. One weakness is economic dependency on a single resource, such as oil. Another weakness is a legacy of high debt, limiting financial flexibility. Hyperinflation can also be a significant economic weakness, destabilizing the economy. SWOT analysis identifies potential opportunities for growth and improvement. Opportunities can arise from both internal and external factors. U.S. and international investments in reconstruction projects present significant opportunities. These investments can stimulate economic activity and development. Lifting sanctions on a country can also create opportunities for economic growth. The removal of sanctions can boost a country's GDP by opening up trade and investment. SWOT analysis identifies potential opportunities for strategic advantage. One opportunity arises from the return of diaspora populations, potentially fueling innovation. Returning individuals may bring new skills, knowledge, and perspectives. Weakened alliances with Russia, China could open avenues for stronger Western ties. New or strengthened alliances can lead to increased trade, investment, and collaboration. SWOT analysis identifies potential external threats to a project or organization. These threats can stem from various sources, including political instability, Insurgency from loyalist factions can pose a significant threat. Criminal elements can also represent a threat to stability and security. Overreach by external powers, such as the US, can erode sovereignty. Such actions may lead to resistance and instability within the analyzed entity. SWOT analysis identifies potential external threats to a project or organization. Global oil price volatility represents a significant economic threat. Fluctuations in oil prices can destabilize markets and increase operational costs. Migration reversal, if instability persists, poses a threat to resources. Increased strain on resources can result from unexpected population shifts. These threats require proactive planning and mitigation strategies. The primary mission is to establish a stable and prosperous Venezuela. A key goal is to foster a democratic society within Venezuela. The mission aims to liberate Venezuela from authoritarian rule. Achieving stability is crucial for long-term prosperity. Democratic principles are essential for a free and just society. Most analysis is a strategic approach focusing on specific objectives. The primary mission is to restore sovereignty. Sovereignty restoration involves regaining control and independence. The mission also targets economic revival. Economic revival aims to stimulate growth and prosperity. Most analysis combines these goals for comprehensive national development. The analysis focuses on key objectives. One objective is to hold fair elections within 12 to 18 months. Another objective is to increase oil production. The target for oil production is 2 million barrels per day, BPD. Most analysis focuses on strategic objectives. One key objective is to reduce poverty by 20%. This poverty reduction is to be achieved through aid and investments. Another objective involves dismantling criminal networks. These objectives guide the strategic direction of the analysis. Most analysis involves strategic planning for security and economic support. A key strategy is partnering with US actors. Collaboration with regional actors is also crucial. These partnerships aim to bolster both security and economic stability. Most analysis involves strategic planning to achieve specific objectives. One strategy is to implement gradual reforms. These reforms aim to co-opt moderate Chavistas. Co-opting moderate Chavistas can broaden support. Another strategy involves leveraging the diaspora for expertise. The diaspora can provide valuable skills and knowledge. Most analysis involves identifying specific tactics to achieve objectives. Tactics are concrete actions or methods used to implement strategies. Deploying international observers for elections is one such tactic. This tactic aims to ensure fair and transparent electoral processes. Negotiating oil deals with transparency clauses is another tactic, promoting accountability. Most analysis involves identifying and implementing various tactics to achieve strategic objectives. One tactic is launching public reconciliation campaigns to foster unity and reduce conflict. These campaigns aim to improve relationships and build trust within communities. Another tactic involves monitoring borders to curb insurgency and prevent illegal activities. Border monitoring helps maintain security and control the movement of people and goods. These tactics are crucial components of a comprehensive strategy for stability and security. Pestle analysis examines the political landscape affecting an organization. Political factors include the stability and policies of the current regime. An interim regime's control is a key political consideration. External influences, such as US involvement, can drive political transition, but may also create instability. Pestle analysis examines political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors. Political factors include government policies, stability, and trade regulations. Elections can shift political power, impacting business environments. If elections occur, the opposition gains leverage. This leverage can lead to policy changes affecting businesses. Pestle analysis examines the macro-environmental factors affecting an organization. The economic aspect of Pestle focuses on financial and economic conditions. A potential oil boom can lead to significant investments and economic growth. However, such booms may also cause short-term economic disruptions. Sanction relief can aid in economic recovery and stability. Economic factors are crucial for strategic decision-making and risk assessment. Pestle analysis examines the macro-environmental factors. The E in Pestle represents economic factors. Economic factors include Inflation rates. Economic factors also include economic growth. Economic stability is another key consideration. Easing inflation contributes to economic stability. Pestle analysis considers social factors impacting an organization or region. A key social aspect is the balance between public optimism and underlying anxieties. Another factor involves the potential return of diaspora populations. This return could influence demographics and cultural dynamics. Persistent humanitarian needs also represent a significant social consideration. Technological factors in Pestle analysis consider the impact of technology on an organization. Infrastructure upgrades are needed in both the oil and technology sectors. Modernization of PDVSA, Petróleos de Venezuela, SA, could be achieved through U.S. expertise. This highlights a potential area for technological advancement and collaboration. Such upgrades can improve efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness in the global market. Pestle analysis examines the impact of technological factors on an organization. Technological factors include digital surveillance capabilities. Digital surveillance by regimes is an increasing technological trend. This trend can significantly impact business operations and individual privacy. Environmental factors in Pestle analysis consider ecological and environmental aspects. Oil expansion carries risks of spills and environmental pollution. Climate migration increases pressure on resources and infrastructure. These environmental considerations are crucial for strategic business planning. Pestle analysis examines the impact of environmental factors on business strategy. Environmental factors include ecological and environmental aspects. Green investments can diversify the economy and reduce reliance on traditional industries. Governmental regulations and policies on environmental protection can affect business operations. Shifting consumer preferences towards eco-friendly products and services can create new market opportunities. Pestle analysis examines the macro-environmental factors affecting an organization. The legal component of Pestle involves laws and regulations impacting business operations. Lifting U.S. sanctions represents a significant legal shift affecting international trade. International trials for regime figures indicate potential legal accountability and justice. The introduction of a new constitution or legal reforms can reshape the legal landscape. Spear analysis focuses on enhanced surveillance techniques. It is primarily used for monitoring military activities. It is also applied to track criminal activities. This surveillance relies on intelligence from U.S. sources. International intelligence sources are also utilized. Spear analysis incorporates surveillance as a key component. Surveillance is used to track public sentiment. It also helps in monitoring potential insurgency risks. This monitoring provides insights for strategic decision-making. Spear analysis assesses performance based on current state indicators. The current state is characterized by low oil output. Low GDP further reflects the current economic performance. A post-ouster stock surge suggests potential for change. This surge indicates anticipated improvements or shifts in policy. Overall performance is a mix of current challenges and future possibilities. Spear analysis involves evaluating performance metrics. A key aspect is benchmarking recovery metrics. This benchmarking uses pre-2013 levels as a baseline. The goal is to assess current performance against historical data. This comparison helps determine the extent of recovery. It also identifies areas needing further improvement. Spear analysis focuses on strategic planning and execution. The excellence component involves adopting best practices. This means learning from successful transitions in similar contexts. For example, studying post-dictatorship Chile can provide valuable insights. Adapting proven strategies enhances the likelihood of a successful transition. Spear analysis emphasizes excellence through specific criteria. It prioritizes transparent oil deals to ensure ethical practices. Transparent deals promote accountability and reduce corruption risks. Spear analysis also upholds human rights standards. Adherence to human rights ensures fair treatment and ethical conduct. Spear analysis focuses on security, political, economic, and resources aspects. Automation in Spear involves integrating technology for efficient governance. Digital voting exemplifies automation by streamlining political processes. AI-monitored borders enhance security through automated surveillance. These technologies aim to improve efficiency and effectiveness in governance. Automation can lead to more data-driven and responsive governance systems. Spear analysis focuses on modernizing PDVSA through automation. The core objective is to implement automated extraction processes. Automation aims to enhance efficiency and reduce manual intervention. This modernization strategy seeks to optimize PDVSA's operational capabilities. Automated extraction is a key component of this overall improvement initiative. Spear analysis requires significant investment. The investment needed is on the scale of $100 billion or more. Multilateral aid is a necessary component for spear analysis. Spear analysis also depends on the return of skilled labor. These requirements are crucial for the successful implementation of spear analysis. Meeting these needs ensures effective analysis and outcomes. Spear analysis requires addressing legal reforms. Legal reforms involve changes to laws and regulations. Spear analysis also necessitates considering security pacts. Security pacts are agreements for mutual defense or security cooperation. Both legal reforms and security pacts are crucial components of spear analysis. The interim government's primary objective is to maintain control during the transition period. Stability is crucial for ensuring a smooth transfer of power. Delcy Rodriguez leads the interim government in this short-term phase. The focus is on immediate governance and preventing disruptions. Long-term policy changes are typically deferred during this period. Maintaining existing structures is prioritized over implementing new reforms. The short-term political landscape may see the return of opposition figures. These figures, such as Maria Corina Machado, may have a presence. However, their influence within the existing power structure is likely to be constrained. Limited influence suggests restricted ability to enact significant policy changes. This situation reflects a controlled transition, not a complete power shift. The existing regime maintains control despite the inclusion of opposition voices. U.S. pressure can potentially initiate limited democratic openings. These openings represent initial steps toward political reform. However, the influence of criminal networks poses a significant obstacle. These networks actively impede further progress in democratization. The presence of criminal elements hinders the overall transition process. Political transitions can be unstable, requiring external intervention. Regional actors often play a key role in mediating conflicts. Mediation aims to prevent further instability and promote peaceful resolutions. Brazil and Colombia are examples of countries that may facilitate dialogue. Their involvement can help stabilize political situations in the medium term. The success of full democratization is contingent on specific factors. U.S. investment plays a crucial role in fostering democratic reforms. These investments must be directly linked to tangible reform efforts. Without this conditionality, democratization may not fully materialize. The alternative is the potential emergence of a hybrid authoritarian state. Short-term economic recovery can be a complex and multifaceted process. A surging stock market often signals increased investor confidence and optimism about future economic growth. However, this optimism can be tempered by real-world disruptions. Labor strikes can significantly impact production and service delivery, hindering economic activity. Supply chain fears and disruptions can also impede daily operations and economic stability. The interplay between market optimism and operational challenges shapes the trajectory of short-term economic recovery. Short-term economic recovery can be influenced by fluctuations in oil production. Instability can cause a temporary decline in oil production levels. U.S. sanction relief could potentially lead to a recovery in oil production. These factors highlight the interconnectedness of geopolitical events and economic outcomes. U.S. infrastructure investment can influence global energy markets. Increased investment may lead to a boost in domestic oil output. A rise in oil production can potentially lower global diesel prices. This price reduction is due to increased supply meeting demand. Therefore, infrastructure spending could have a positive impact on energy costs. GDP growth is projected to potentially reach 8 to 10% in the medium term. This growth is contingent on the realization of planned investments. Successful investments are crucial for stimulating economic activity. Such growth could reverse the effects of hyperinflation, stabilizing the economy. Reviving PDVSA could unlock significant mineral resources. This revival could stimulate long-term economic growth. De-dollarization trends present a challenge to U.S. economic dominance. These trends could reshape global economic power dynamics. Short-term social dynamics involve immediate and fluctuating responses to events. Celebrations and expressions of joy may occur in response to positive developments. Simultaneously, there can be a prevailing fear of potential negative consequences or reprisals. Migration patterns might temporarily halt as people evaluate the overall stability of the situation. Individuals and communities assess risks and benefits before making decisions about relocation. This period is characterized by a mixture of emotional responses and cautious decision-making. The return of 7.7 million refugees is contingent upon maintaining stable conditions. Sustained stability is a crucial prerequisite for successful refugee repatriation. Without stability, the return process faces significant challenges and potential setbacks. Therefore, stability directly impacts the feasibility and success of refugee resettlement efforts. The future of these refugees is closely linked to the establishment and maintenance of a secure environment. Humanitarian aid can address immediate shortages of essential resources. Provision of food, water, shelter, and medical care can alleviate suffering. However, repressive actions can intensify psychological trauma within affected populations. Such actions may include violence, displacement, and suppression of basic rights. The combination of shortages and trauma can create complex social challenges. Effective aid strategies must consider both material needs and psychological well-being. Diaspora remittances are funds sent by migrants to their home countries. These remittances often support consumption in the recipient country. Over the medium term, the use of remittances may evolve. A shift from consumption to investment is possible. This shift could stimulate economic growth in the recipient country. Long-term social dynamics are influenced by economic factors. Economic gains can potentially improve social cohesion within a community. However, pre-existing social divisions may worsen if reconciliation efforts are lacking. Without addressing underlying conflicts, economic progress alone may not unify society. Therefore, both economic development and social reconciliation are crucial for positive long-term social outcomes. U.S. strikes aim to minimize casualties. Despite efforts, resistance remains a possibility. This resistance could come from Cuban agents. Resistance may also originate from local collectives. Security protocols must account for these potential threats. A short-term security concern involves potential shifts in drug trafficking patterns. Reduced drug trafficking associated with Maduro could lead to decreased U.S. fentanyl inflows. This reduction may impact the availability and distribution of fentanyl within the United States. The change in fentanyl inflows could have implications for public health and law enforcement efforts. Insurgency from loyalist factions poses a security risk. Gang activity could also escalate into security threats. These potential scenarios may necessitate the deployment of U.S. advisors. U.S. advisor involvement aims to mitigate and manage these security challenges. Global reactions to the removal are varied and complex. China and Russia have voiced their protest against the removal. These nations may view the removal as a challenge to their geopolitical interests. Latin American countries largely support the removal. This support could stem from shared political or economic objectives. The mixed reactions highlight the diverse perspectives on the implications of the removal. A stable Venezuela can diminish the influence of the Iran, Cuba, Nicaragua axis. Weakening this axis contributes to enhanced regional security. This shift in power dynamics can lead to a more balanced geopolitical landscape. The stabilization of Venezuela is crucial for long-term geopolitical stability. The U.S. Monroe Doctrine may serve as a historical precedent for interventionist policies. Other nations might draw inspiration from the Monroe Doctrine to justify their own regional interventions. This could lead to similar doctrines being established in different parts of the world. Such actions could have long-term consequences on global geopolitics and international relations. The tutelary transition scenario involves U.S.-backed continuity. This scenario is characterized by gradual reforms. It represents the most probable outcome among potential transition paths. U.S. backing ensures stability, while reforms address necessary changes. Democratic transitions can be facilitated through opposition-led elections. These elections provide a structured pathway towards democratization. The scenario anticipates these elections occurring by 2027. This timeline offers a concrete target for democratic reforms. Successful elections can lead to a more democratic government. Chaotic transition scenarios involve significant instability and disorder. Insurgency can contribute to a chaotic transition by challenging state authority. Fragmentation, such as regional separatism, can further destabilize the state. The combination of insurgency and fragmentation may result in a failed state. A failed state is characterized by the government's inability to maintain order and provide basic services. The U.S. focus on oil extraction may have implications for democratic progress. A strong emphasis on oil extraction can sometimes overshadow other political and social priorities. This prioritization could lead to delayed or hindered advancements in democratic reforms. Economic incentives tied to oil production might influence policy decisions. These policy decisions could potentially conflict with democratic values or goals. Therefore, balancing resource extraction with democratic development is crucial. Transition scenarios often involve regional dynamics. Latin American-led mediation presents a specific regional approach. This approach could potentially prevent overreach by the United States. Regional mediation can offer a balanced and localized solution. Such mediation leverages regional expertise and relationships. Monitoring military loyalty is crucial for maintaining stability. Disloyalty within the military can lead to destabilization. Strategic recommendations focus on preventing such disloyalty. Continuous monitoring helps ensure the military remains a stable force. Multilateral oversight is recommended to ensure a balanced transition. This approach promotes fairness and inclusivity in the transition process. It helps to mitigate potential biases or imbalances. Multilateral engagement ensures a more equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. Strategic recommendations suggest linking aid to human rights benchmarks. This linkage aims to promote democratic values in recipient countries. By tying aid to specific human rights criteria, donor nations can incentivize reforms. These reforms may include improvements in freedom of speech, assembly, and the rule of law. This strategy seeks to use economic assistance as a lever for positive political change. Venezuela's primary economic strength lies in its vast oil reserves. The country holds the largest proven oil reserves globally. These reserves represent a significant potential source of revenue. Oil revenues have historically been a major contributor to Venezuela's GDP. However, over-reliance on oil has also made the economy vulnerable to price fluctuations. Diversifying the economy beyond oil is crucial for long-term stability. A skilled diaspora represents a significant economic strength. This diaspora is prepared to actively participate in reconstruction initiatives. Their skills and expertise can be channeled into rebuilding efforts. This contribution can accelerate economic recovery. It also fosters sustainable development. The diaspora's involvement is crucial for long-term stability. Economic weaknesses can significantly impede a nation's oil production capabilities. One major factor is the presence of dilapidated infrastructure. Outdated or poorly maintained infrastructure directly hinders efficient oil output. This includes issues with pipelines, storage facilities, and transportation networks. These infrastructural problems create bottlenecks and inefficiencies in the oil production process. Ultimately, this leads to reduced oil output and potential economic losses. The economy is highly dependent on oil revenues. This dependency creates vulnerability to oil price volatility. Fluctuations in oil prices directly impact the nation's economic stability. Economic diversification is needed to mitigate this risk. Reconstruction efforts can be significantly boosted by strategic investments. Both U.S. and international investments play a crucial role in this process. These investments create economic opportunities within the affected regions. Capital injection facilitates infrastructure development and job creation. Economic sanctions are restrictions imposed on a country's trade or financial activities. Lifting these sanctions can lead to increased trade and investment. Increased economic activity typically results in a boost to the gross domestic product, GDP. Therefore, removing sanctions can create significant economic opportunities and growth. Global oil price volatility poses a significant threat to economic stability. Unstable oil prices can undermine efforts to stimulate economic recovery. Fluctuations in oil prices impact various sectors, creating economic uncertainty. This volatility can disrupt financial planning and investment strategies. Migration reversal poses potential economic threats. Persistent instability is a key factor influencing this reversal. This reversal can strain existing resources within affected regions. Resource strain may lead to further economic challenges. Transparent oil deals are crucial for good governance. Prioritizing transparency helps prevent corruption within the oil sector. Open and accountable processes ensure fair transactions. This approach safeguards resources and promotes public trust. Effective governance requires addressing and resolving social divisions. Public reconciliation campaigns are vital tools for healing societal rifts. These campaigns aim to foster understanding and empathy among different groups. They often involve acknowledging past injustices and promoting dialogue. Successful reconciliation can lead to greater social cohesion and stability. Governance should prioritize initiatives that bridge divides and build trust. Technology integration is crucial for modern governance. Efficient governance requires leveraging technological solutions. Technology enhances the effectiveness of administrative processes. Border monitoring is significantly improved through technology. Advanced systems enable real-time border surveillance and management. Integrating technology ensures more secure and controlled borders.